Political commentators have increasingly linked the growing inefficiency and complacency within Nigeria's legislative system to the lack of constitutional term limits for members of parliament. They argue that this legislative loophole has enabled some lawmakers to maintain their positions for decades, fostering a culture of entitlement and political stagnation. This situation, they say, undermines democratic values, limits diversity of thought, and hampers introduction of new ideas that could drive meaningful policy reforms. Professor Kamilu Sani Fagge, a political science expert at Bayero University in Kano, noted that while long-term service in the legislature can offer experience and mastery of parliamentary procedures, it also presents serious risks to good governance. To help us make sense of this, we're joined by a legal practitioner, Tunji Abdulhameed. Tunji, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
So do you support the motion? Yes, nice to have you around. Do you support the motion that Nigeria's legislative system should have constitutional limits?
Yeah, I don't see. I don't support that. It's not an issue for me because it's not the fact that people are long enough in that house that is making them behave the way they are behaving. It's because we don't have a system that works. In fact, if you have an electoral system that works and is free and fair, some of them will not go back. It's not because they are there for long. Even if you make law, these people will still find their way around the corridor of power and they will still occupy a different position. If you look at it, in the past, since 1999, the majority of people at the National Assembly, some of them are no longer there. Only few remain that have been there for long, maybe 5 or 3 or so of them. Did you see anything different from what people are just coming in and behaving as if they are also part of those who have been there before? So it's not about the fact that they are long in that National Assembly. That's why they are misbehaving. They are misbehaving because they know they cannot be checked by their constituents. They were not put in place by their constituents. They don't have respect for their constituents. In other words, they are not representing the people that they claim they are representing. They are representing themselves and their political party and their godfathers. That is it. Until we have a free and fair election, until we have a system whereby election will be free and be fair, and the internal affair of the party will not block anybody from becoming a candidate, then they will do well. We have the executive where they go in 4 years. Do they do better? No, they didn't. Some of them are even aiming to go to Senate thereafter. Yet they don't perform well. So that's not to say that when they stay long in that National Assembly, they become a landlord, and sometimes it becomes difficult for them to be uprooted. But I'm saying that the fact that they are long there or they stay long at the National Assembly is not the reason why they are misbehaving. They are misbehaving because they don't have a system that works.
But then if the issue is not with longevity and they stay in power or in that position because they actually perform well, what opportunity would be available for probably other young minds rather, who should also have the opportunity to get to that position?
Yeah, you see, like I said, we make it look as if there was no primary, there was no election. They just put themselves and become candidates and elected. You see, the point, like I've said it, the internal affairs of the party is not creating enough chances. That's the area we should be looking at. Who become our candidates? How do they win their election? How do they represent their party? How do they win the major election? Those are the areas, and that's why I say if there's a free and fair election, get it. So if we have free and fair election, more youth will participate and they will win. That what we have today is imposition. The primary are not people's choice. They are just imposed by leaders. You can see, you hear them say, I made him governor, I made him House of Assembly member, I made him this and that. It shows it's not about the people, it's about imposition. So as long as we have that people who can control the system, who determine who becomes who, and it's not about the people, you continue to see the same people at the end of the affair. So if you and all these people you say they've been long at the National Assembly, let them trespass, or let those the power that be see them as an obstacle. You will see that they will not come back. So the system is not working well. That's why we're having what we're having. So it's not about the fact that they are long in the system, and they will still be misbehaved whether they are long or not. People who are just there for 1 or 2 years, are they not misbehaving? Are they not behaving as if they were not outside before now? They were not complaining and they were not talking or criticizing those who are there before now. They were also doing the same thing the way they are doing. Those who criticize members of the National Assembly buying cars worth millions of naira are also buying the same car now. They are collecting it. They are also collecting constituency allowances that they claim was wrong. So it's not about whether they are long or not. The youth must participate, and the system must be free and fair, create an enabling environment for everybody to participate, and be confident that, look, if we participate and it's free and fair, I'll win. People will win election. That's just it. Some of them are not winning because they are good, because they are being imposed or they have that influence on the system, and that's why they are going there. So that's what we should check, not other than make law and say that would be against the fundamental right.
Let's look at it from another. Let's look at it from another angle. If you are advocating that it should not be tenure based, and of course we might agree that the system that brings these people into power is flawed. Is it possible then that we have a system whereby these legislative opportunities or posts are made unattractive, and that the financial benefits attached to these offices are drastically reduced? Maybe this can make the right people to attempt to step into these political spaces.
Yeah, if it's not too attractive the way it is today, and it's not too, they're not too powerful, some people may not be concerned about going there. But the way it is today, and that's why when people talk about our democracy is too expensive, I say no, it's not the democracy that's expensive. It's the people that are operating it that are making it look like that. If there is nowhere in our constitution or any law that says a member of the National Assembly must collect millions of naira as monthly allowance or weekly allowances. It is them that fix it for themselves. The executive is not. There is no law in the law that says the president must buy private jets at the expense of the people. There is no law that says the president must use an Escalade or use any particular car or appoint thousands of SAs or PA or whatever. It is not the democracy that it is us. So the way, as long as we continue to operate the system the way it is and make it look attractive the way it is, people will continue to fight for it, and then it becomes those who have the power more will be able to grab it and take it and run away with it.
Okay, so finally, we're talking about a politically flawed system. We're talking about lawmakers that perpetrate themselves in office and underperform without being checked. What if we look at it from the area of the recall process that is equally tedious? Is that a part you would advocate that should be tinkered with too?
The procedure to recall as it is now considered today is in fact, it will be very easy for Nidu to enter the eyes of the camel than for you to recall any member of the National Assembly. If you have a system that works, that recall will not be difficult. But we don't have a system that works. If you see any recall that is being instigated, it's because one godfather or so has interest in it. If there's no godfather with interest in it, you won't see any recall. Like I said, I will still repeat myself at the expense of being saying the same thing. The system has made it look like individuals that rather than the institution are now in charge, and they determine who become what. And that's why you see those in 1999 to those who are against the agenda of the president then, they were not able to come back to the National Assembly. Those who oppose the third-term agenda were not able to return back because they offended. So what I'm saying is that it is not about these people. It's about the system not working. And as long as it's not working, if you look at the election properly, most of these people did not win the election. Some of them did not even win primary. You can give an example of the president of the state today. He didn't participate. And it was clear. The former senior president, Ahmed Lawal, he didn't participate. He came back and he grabbed it. And it was given to him. And the court even confirmed it. So these are the way and manner some of them got into the office. It's not about as if they were too good or whatever, but because the system does not allow, it's not vested, the power is not, on paper, the power is on the people. But in practice, certain individuals are the one that has the power. They have the power on their hand, and they use it the way they like. That's why today, you will see that somebody will come and start claiming, I made him a governor. I made him this and that, because it's not about the people.
All right, a lot of fundamental issues that need to be dealt with in Nigeria's electoral system. But then thank you so much, Tunji Abdulhameed, for sharing your thoughts with us.